So I finally decided what I want to do with this water coolant pipe. I'm just going to end up cutting this and getting it well. Same as this too. I might just end up removing this tube and just welding that shut. I have a buddy that does welding. I already talked to him. He said that it should be easy. And he said that if not, I could just direct line and connect these two together. But I think I'm just gonna delete both of these just so it has a cleaner look. So right now I'm taking out the manifold. You got one bolt, one nut, one bolt, and then three bolts on the bottom. I got it all out, but it won't come out. So I gotta take out this mount and this power steering, or this tensioner and this power steering out. So right now I'm stuck on this bolt right here, and I'm stuck right here. So what I'm trying to do is a two-nut method. It's by taking these two and putting it together, and hopefully I could unscrew that bolt out. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Alright, so the double nut method is, here's one nut, here's the back one, and you tighten this one up to lock this one in, and then you go and loosen this one out. Let's see if I can get it in. So this whole thing should be coming out with it. And then once I get this out, I'm gonna switch it to this one over here, so that that way it goes back easy. Oh man, it didn't even work. I guess I'll get that another try. Okay, so let's try that again. So I tightened this one up. I hand tightened it the first time. I went back because it came off, tighten it back up. Make sure that's really tight so when I back it up, it doesn't move. So it should be something like this. Looks like I should just be able to take it out by hand. Alright, so we got that out. So once you take it out, it should look like this. And then I'll put this one over here so that'll be easier to take out next time. I'm just gonna set all my bolts in here so I know that's my manifold bolts. Now this should just come right out. Oh my god, why the fuck you make it so hard? There we go. Now I gotta take out this housing. I'm gonna get that welded. I already got this loose already. Next off, I have to take off this tube because I'm taking out this pipe as well. And I'm gonna weld this little nipple over here. And here's the manifold. This is a Honda, but it doesn't seem like it's lining up with the manifold. So I'm gonna just kind of drill this just a little bit, because you see how it doesn't really sit flush, or it doesn't really go all the way up like how these holes are. You see how these are perfect match, and these bottom ones are barely, so I got to trim just a little bit up here, so you can see that. So I have trimmed that up just a little bit more to get it fit. It's pretty easy. Just remove this clip. There's an O-ring that secures this in there. You pop that off. You probably want to replace the O-ring too when you take this off. You come over here. There's like 210s holding this bracket to this pipe. And then once you remove these two 12 or 10s right here, it should just slide right out. And this housing, just 2 bolts right here. One here, one here. You also want to get a new gasket when you replace this. Just slow down the hose here, and you should be able to pop it off. Turned out it was only 1 bolt, which is this guy. This rubber's really hard. I'm gonna replace that. I gotta order that out tonight. And then I also gotta order me a gasket for the housing right here as well. Got that out. Got the housing out as well already. I taped these two just so that my coworker knows which one to weld and cut off. To take this out, this is pretty easy as well too. It's only 2 bolts that holds it. I put those bolts back just because I don't want to lose it. And also you got a nut right here that holds this in place. So once you take that out, you should be able to swing it and then just kind of pivot around to get that out of this coolant housing or this thermostat housing. I could pretty much delete this now. So if you look, there's this tube right here and this other tube and this other tube that connects to these 2 blue tape, which I probably could just direct line it and just delete this. But I figured since I'm deleting them, I just delete it completely, so I don't have to worry about any leaks or anything in that area. Also, it's just gonna make it look a lot nicer. So what I decided to do was just to take these 2 nipples out for this coolant hose or whatever you want to call this, because I was just going to direct line it, but I didn't really know if that would be legit or it would work. It probably would have worked just because it's just a tube and this thing just pretty much cool it down. But I've just decided to cut off these 2 nipple and just weld it and just get rid of this whole thing. So once parts come in for these or the gasket, I'll put these back in. For now, I'm gonna trying to get this gasket welded, or not welded, trim. You see that it's where the bolt should be going, so I'm try to trim that up just a little bit on the bottom so I could get all, what is this, 7 bolts. So you get all 7 bolts in, because what they had was just these 4 on top and just this middle one, and then they just left these 2 bolt open because they couldn't get these in because this didn't fit. So I'm gonna try to cut that up, make it fit, and then I'm gonna clean it up, wipe it down really nice, same as that, clean that out, and then clean this back of the cylinder head. Doesn't look too bad. Just gotta clean up these little oil things. I wish I had my flashlight so I could kind of check the valve on the inside. The intake is usually pretty clean, and it's doesn't really crack, more like the exhaust, because it doesn't take as much heat. But I checked the exhaust side already since I had the manifold off when I originally had the engine not even touched yet. I inspected it already, but I couldn't inspect the intake side because the intake was still on. But since I'm doing all this now, I might as well check that. Once I do all that, it's good. Get all that put back together, wait for all my parts to come in, put the harness back on, and then do velvet lash, and then it should be ready to drop. And I don't think it's ready to drop anytime soon, give or take probably like 2 weeks to a month, just because I'm still working on the element, trying to figure that out, and just doing this on the side just because I'm really tempted to get this car started, and I really wanted to get this car started for the summer, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon just because my schedule and all the stuff that I got going on. But yeah, this is where I'm at. Alright, so how I did this was I mounted, where I put the gasket on and then I bolted it up so it doesn't move. I made sure that these are all clear, that it wasn't blocking or anything. You can see that the gasket doesn't really fit evenly. And I just took a drill and I pretty much just drilled it so that I could get the bolt or the drill bit through. You can see how like it's a lot more wider now compared to this hole here where it's not that big. So yeah, do that again. Just kind of I don't want to do too much because I don't want to drill the manifold. I just want to drill just the gasket just so it gets a little more clearance so the bolt could come through. Let's see if I can find me another bolt. Okay, here we go. So now this one goes through, and this one also goes through. So we should be good now. Just gotta clean up this a little bit, just to get rid of some of these stuff. Okay, so this one is clear. Clear all the way around. This one, I just got just a little more on this side over here. How much better that looks and how much more of a cleaner circle, and there's nothing blocking it. Same as this one too. This one's a little this one's a little bit better, but went kind of a little bit far on this one. But this one's like right perfect. This one just a little bit on this side, but I think it should be good because the bolt could go through now. Same with this as well. So that's it for today. Once I get all those stuff done, I should be getting back that tube and the housing Friday. So once I get that done for my buddy, I'll put that in. I'll update you guys on where it's at. So I just did some cleaning. I pulled this engine out that was over here. So I'm gonna take this manifold and swap it over to this one because the one on this one is missing this sensor. I believe this is the TPS sensor. And I'll show you how it looks like. It's missing that sensor. It just held on by a screw. And there was another one. Yeah, these as well. On the bottom. It was something that I didn't want to use because of something. But that I'm just gonna pull this one out because this is complete, and I'm just gonna swap it over. But I gotta wait for those holes that I was telling you that I was gonna modify. This one right here, this is on the stock one. So we'll take this out, swap it over. So this one, it's where that stud was. I was gonna put it here, but actually I'm gonna put it on this one down here because that one's just straight right there. This one right here, it's really tricky. Let's see if I can show you. I don't have my flashlight right now, but it's charging. But it's this one right here, and that one's really tricky to get. It has shallow socket, didn't work, and I had to use a 12 short, and lucky the wrench was a flex head, so I was able to get around this hose right here just enough. And if you look here carefully, you can see the bolt, and you want to make sure that the socket is completely on, because you don't want to strip that, because that's in a really tight spot. But that's the last bolt other than this one, this nut, and it should come out. Alright, so back it goes. Just put it in this little spot right here. So I got everything for this. I'm just waiting for that to get welded and the housing to come back from my buddy, and then we should be putting this on with that. Put on that first and then put on the manifold. But look, I found that this one was loose. Also, this one has a little bit of space too. Oh, even this one right here too. Crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna probably clean all that up. Clean a little bit the inside of the manifold too. Manifold look really ugly. To be honest, that manifold is actually a lot cleaner than this one.